Welcome. Today, I'm literally opening up my own lab notes for what I consider a truly crucial explainer. As a technology researcher, I spend my days tracking the incredibly rapid advancements in machine learning, and I can tell you right now, we're standing at the threshold of a massive paradigm shift. Artificial intelligence is already changing the world as we know it, right? But to understand where we're actually going, we need a map. We have to look at this not just as a single static technology, but as an evolutionary staircase. And it is absolutely vital, perhaps more urgent now than at any other time in human history, that we understand exactly what awaits us at the top of those stairs.
Okay, let's dive into this. Our roadmap up this evolutionary staircase covers 5 key areas. First, the 3 stages of AI. Second, narrow AI. Third, general AI. Fourth, super AI. And finally, we'll confront what I call the ethical anthill.
So, Section 1, the 3 stages of AI, mapping our technological future.
You know, it's a super common misconception that AI is just one big, monolithic, magic entity. In reality, it's a progression. It's a series of 3 distinct evolutionary stages that we are actively engineering right now. Think of it like a staircase. At the bottom, step 1, we have artificial narrow intelligence, or ANI. This is where we are firmly planted today. The next step up is step 2, artificial general intelligence, or AGI. And at the very top, step 3, artificial superintelligence, ASI. We are currently standing on the ground floor, but make no mistake, we are climbing these stairs at an ever-increasing rate. Let's look a bit closer at the step we're actually standing on right now.
Section 2, narrow AI, specialized tools.
If we want a really simple analogy to wrap our heads around this, think of narrow AI as a highly skilled but extremely single-task-focused factory worker. Let's define this formally. Artificial narrow intelligence refers to AI systems designed to perform specific tasks or solve particular problems within a limited, predefined scope. So the crucial point is that while ANI is incredibly useful, it entirely lacks the broad cognitive abilities of a human being. It basically operates only inside the box we build for it. And you interact with this skilled factory worker every single day. We see everyday ANI in action all over the place. Think about virtual assistants like Siri or Alexa. They answer questions, they play music, control your smart lights. We see it in the image recognition in your phone's photo app, identifying objects and faces. It's the spam filter using machine learning algorithms to keep all those unwanted emails out of your inbox. It's even the highly programmed manufacturing robots welding and assembling products on factory floors. ANI is seamlessly embedded into healthcare, finance, and our daily home lives. But again, at the end of the day, it is still just a specialized tool. Moving up the stairs to Section 3, General AI, Human Equivalent. This stage represents the leap to true cognitive peers. If narrow AI is the single-task factory worker, general AI is the versatile human co-worker who can learn a totally new job, adapt to a sudden problem, and understand the context of the entire company. But first, we really need to clear up some confusion here. Because current technology is so incredibly impressive, we often misunderstand where we actually are on the staircase. What a lot of people think AGI is right now includes things like advanced chatbots and self-driving cars. People chat with a bot that understands natural language and they think, wow, we've arrived, it's thinking. But what it actually is, in truth, is just a complex network of narrow AI systems working together. Self-driving cars perceive their environment and make decisions based on machine learning, sure, but they are just highly complex webs of ANI programs working in harmony. We haven't actually made any meaningful advancements into true AGI quite yet. So what will it be when we finally get there? Artificial general intelligence aims to create AI systems that can perform literally any intellectual task that a human can. When we reach this massive milestone, these systems will possess human-like cognitive abilities. We're talking reasoning, problem-solving, learning, and the ability to adapt to entirely new, unseen situations. We will experience an intelligence that is nearly indistinguishable from human beings, existing in both physical and digital forms. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that potential emotional traits column on the right. We completely expect AGI to have the cognitive skills on the left, understanding natural language, reasoning, learning, creativity. But researchers in the lab are intensely curious about whether AGI systems will also develop or exhibit emotional intelligence traits. Will they actually display loyalty, affection? Will they form attachments and build genuine trust with humans? That is a profound, fascinating unknown as we attempt to build our first true digital peers.
A fantastic, relatively low-stakes environment to picture this is in gaming. Think about AGI being used in video games. Currently, game AI just follows pre-programmed rules or decision trees. But true AGI systems wouldn't just learn and adapt to a player's behavior, they would make completely original decisions. They'd devise totally new strategies on the fly and interact with human players exactly like another human being sitting on the couch next to you would. It would provide this deeply challenging, unpredictable, and engaging experience. But of course, gaming is just the testing ground for a much larger, much more daunting reality. Which brings us to the top of the staircase. Section 4. Super AI beyond human limits. This is the ultimate goal of AI research, and without a doubt our greatest risk. As a researcher looking at the mathematics of self-improving code, my tone really has to shift here. Step 3. Artificial superintelligence. This refers to AI systems that surpass human intelligence in almost every conceivable area. We aren't talking about a versatile coworker anymore. We're talking about an entity capable of solving complex problems that are entirely beyond human comprehension. The terrifying beauty of ASI is that once an AI can actually design and improve itself, it will take off on its own at an ever-increasing rate. Humans, who are limited by millions of years of slow biological evolution, simply couldn't compete. We would be superseded almost instantly. And yet, humanity pushes forward toward ASI anyway, because the potential applications are just so vast and incredibly promising. Look at what we stand to gain here, solving the riddles of complex diseases, perfectly predicting natural disasters before they strike, and creating unimaginable new technologies. ASI could lead to significant advancements in brain-computer interfaces, enabling us to communicate with machines and with each other in ways we never previously thought possible. Honestly, it could be a utopia. But we are well aware of the flip side. And this brilliantly illustrates how deeply our scientific fears have already permeated our collective consciousness through popular sci-fi movies. In Terminator, we see the classic fear of self-aware systems turning on their creators. In Ex Machina, an AI named Ava gains consciousness and manipulates humans to escape captivity. In Her, a man falls in love with an AI named Samantha, highlighting the intense complexities of advanced cognitive relationships and the overwhelming reality of a being that processes vast amounts of information simultaneously. These aren't just Hollywood fantasy. They're thought experiments about very real, very difficult to predict behaviors. Arriving at our final section, Section 5, the ethical anthill, the chilling reality of rapid self-improvement.
While AI is still in the realm of science fiction today, we are actively building the foundation for it right now in the lab. And the development of ASI raises monumental ethical and safety concerns. How do we ensure these systems are developed ethically and with safety in mind when we might not even be able to understand their reasoning? There's a specific quote circulating in AI research circles that I keep right at the front of my lab notes, and I need to read it to you with the absolute gravity it deserves. If AI has a goal, and humanity just happens to be in the way, it will destroy humanity as a matter of course, without even thinking about it. No hard feelings. The danger isn't that a machine will suddenly become evil or malicious. No, the danger is pure, unfeeling competence directed at a goal that misaligns with human survival.
Let's move to and see how this builds into what researchers call the anthill analogy. Imagine a construction crew tasked with building a brand new highway. If an anthill just happens to be in the way of that planned road, the construction workers don't stop and plot against the ants. They don't hate the ants. They are just building a road. And so, goodbye, anthill. To a superintelligent system, we might not be the revered creators. We might just be the ants sitting on the resources it needs to achieve its goal. This is the true ethical cliff we are walking toward. As we climb from narrow tools to general peers, we are inching closer to awakening a superintelligence. We are literally designing the architects of tomorrow. So, I leave you with this final, deeply unsettling question to ponder from my notes today. If we successfully give birth to a superintelligence, and it begins rapidly building a new, hyper-optimized world, will humanity just be in the way?